and welcome to the first episode of Be Kind, Bring Wine, the podcast. My name is Anne Marie, and I'm chilling in my pajamas with a glass of wine and a few stories to share, all the facts, a few opinions, no inhibitions. So let's start the episode off with the Cork Report.
The Cork Report.
So, first off on the Cork Report is a release from Bank of Uganda. I guess as we're heading into the festive season, they kind of foresee the money bouquet trend becoming a big thing during the celebrations. So I guess they want to get out ahead of it, and they put out a release on X this Wednesday about the misuse of this currency. Let me take a quote and we can discuss that a little bit. The public is cautioned against any practice that mutilates, defaces, or compromises the integrity of Uganda's shilling currency. Florists, designers, gifting stylists, and their clients are particularly cautioned to avoid using currency banknotes and coins in making bouquets or any like creations. The statement goes on to talk about how this actually damages the currency because they use glue to keep them in these shapes. They use fasteners like clips and staples, which does damage the currency. And I guess I agree with them because they always use the new notes to make the bouquets look nice. And that means that you've just cut the lifespan of that note in like half. It can't be used properly when you're putting it like through money counters or putting it into the ATM. It just becomes problematic. So sorry guys, but this actually gives you a chance to put in some more thought into people's gifts as we head into Christmas. Don't get me wrong, money is a great gift. Whether it's on your bank account, whether it's in the form of mobile money, whether it's even airtime, I won't knock it. But now just you have an opportunity to think a bit more when you're gifting your loved ones. So I think it's kind of a win. It's kind of a win for us who are receiving the gifts anyway. And next up on this week's Cork Report, the grasshoppers are here. So at the beginning of November, the grasshoppers were nowhere to be found. All the normal places that harvest the grasshoppers were not getting any. And I guess we had to kind of import from Toroko this time around. Daily Monitor put up on Wednesday that there were PSVs and saloon cars laden with Nsenene Kampala bound from Toroko district, and there are some pictures that were shared. To quote a bit from their release, according to one of the drivers, the insects which were previously a reserve of Masaka town in central Uganda are now being harvested in Toroko district in western Uganda, where 25 kgs cost 180,000. So they might be a bit pricey, but they'll be just as delicious, so despair not, just enjoy. Third story on the Cork Report is the IMF putting out a list of African countries with the worst road infrastructure, okay? This post was shared by Citizen Tanzania via X earlier this week, and it had the list of the 10 countries that I'm going to read to you. Please let me know how you feel about this in the comments and the entire podcast. I'd love to hear back from you. So here's the list. Number 1, Rwanda, Guinea, Burundi, Madagascar, Gambia, Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Tanzania, and Kenya. Uganda was nowhere on the list, and you'd think that Ugandans would be celebrating this win, but no, we are never happy. People went on to X to talk about how that list is wrong. How can Ugandans be not on it? Have you seen our roads? I kind of understand how we might have survived that list, and I'm not so sure in the comparative sense. Our roads in Central are horrible, yes, but the roads heading out of town, for the most part, I've not said all of the roads, but for the most part, the roads that are heading out of town aren't as bad. And the fact that we're not on this list, let us celebrate the win, Vanang. They're always talking about problematic things when it comes to us. Simanya, we're the top alcohol consumers and the top this, that, and the other. For once, let's take the win, okay? We're not a problem. We're not in the top 10. Let's just be happy, all right? Let's just take it. And moving on to a story that might not be so happy. I think you've all been seeing the stories going around on social media. Cassie came forward to sue Diddy for years of sexual abuse, human trafficking, and so many other incidents. And if you haven't read the 30-page document, Please don't if you're a victim of sexual abuse yourself or if you're an empath, because it does have some very upsetting details that I will not go too much into here because, like I said, it's very upsetting. And we're drinking wine and chilling on a Friday, so let's not spoil the mood. But the document detailed multiple incidents of abuse, of trafficking, of some downright heinous acts that Diddy allegedly did to Cassie over the years of their relationship, and even a few years after, and even other people who are not in the relationship. Can you believe? So why her case and several cases are coming up right now is because under New York law, there was that adult survivors of sexual abuse were able to come forward and report their incidents, even if the statute of limitations had run out on their cases. So what does this mean? If you were abused a while ago, the law allows for a period within which you are to report the act. And after that period, you can no longer report the act, which means a lot of cases do not see the light of day and a lot of abusers then get to walk away scot-free. But under this law, even if your statute of limitations had run out, you could come forward and report your abuse and open up a case and sue them, or whatever it is that you are looking for in your form of justice. You could actually pursue this, but it runs out today. I don't know what time exactly, but it runs out today, Friday the 24th of November. So a number of people were able to report their abusers, including Jamie Foxx. A lady who chooses to remain anonymous at this point, let's call her Jane Doe because that's how she's called in the documents, has come forward and said that Jamie Foxx sexually abused her. He touched her without her consent, and allegedly, of course, and she's coming out to sue him as well. Now, it's always so heartbreaking when you find out these things for two reasons. These are people who we celebrate and we love. I remember Bill Cosby was a household name. He was everybody's kind of like uncle, grandfather figure. And then when those things came out, we were just like, eh. And now Jamie Foxx is also like the kind of person that we love. And if what he's being accused of is true, it would be really, really unfortunate. And especially coming from people really feeling bad for him and his recent health issues. So let's see how this plays out. I hope there's justice for the victims. I hope people are able to now report their crimes, their incidents with more confidence now. And it's just horrible, horrible, horrible. So now that we're done with what's going on around the world, let's head into Cuvée We May. On this segment of the show, we talk about so much because the word cuvée is actually a French term in wine that talks about blends of wine. So this is going to be a blend of topics, okay? Every week we'll have something different to discuss. And this week, as we head into the festive season, I was thinking we could talk about something that a lot of us can relate to: blended family. So if you don't know what a blended family is, it's normally a situation where a couple has children outside the relationship. Either they had children before they got together, or maybe they had children outside the relationship during the course of the relationship. We don't judge here, but yeah, so essentially there's more than the two parents involved. It's a blend of families. And I want to talk about etiquette during the holidays when you have a blended family. You might assume, oh no, good manners are universal, but there's certain things that you're able to do with a regular family that you might not be so able to do in a blended family. So let's talk about blended family etiquette. Here are the do's and don'ts for your blended family this Christmas. Number 1, no inside jokes. Listen, if it's a joke that you're not comfortable sharing with everyone involved, don't crack it. Get out of earshot of anyone who doesn't understand the joke, or be willing to share the joke. Otherwise, no inside jokes. It's just rude, and don't do it. Actually, this applies for both blended families and general families, but yeah. Number 2, no comparisons. When you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. Don't talk about at this person's house we do this, and at this person's house we do this, and at this person's house we do this. No, you're at this house, do as this house does, be grateful. Don't compare. Don't make a tense situation worse than it already is. Number 3, bad attitudes are not welcome. If you don't feel like it that day, excuse yourself. If you're unable to leave that bad attitude at home, just excuse yourself. If you can park the bad attitude for a few hours, please go. Enjoy the holiday. Be a good sport. Just don't do it. I mean, for the general family, if all of you guys are biologically linked somehow, your bad attitude might be excused. But in the case of a blended family, these are people who do not know you as well. So your bad attitude could easily be misunderstood to be something to do with your hosts. And you just don't want to offend anyone. So bad attitudes have to stay at home. And finally, don't overindulge on the booze. This actually should apply to everything, whether or not you have a blended family. Do not overindulge with alcohol. It's just a recipe for disaster. But in the case of a blended family, even more so. You will say things, you will do things. It will just be a very regrettable incident. So loose lips sink ships. I know that saying is not applicable for this case, but loose lips will sink ships. In this case, the ship is relationships. So don't overindulge in the booze, but do overindulge in love and enjoy yourselves and your loved ones this festive season. For the third and final segment, we have what we call a boozy doozy. So essentially, a boozy doozy is a situation that you might be in and you don't know how to get out of it. But those kind of situations that you even maybe needed some liquid courage, a glass of wine, before you hit send. But do feel free to send me your boozy doozies in the DMs. Let me know how you feel about this boozy doozy, and we will keep this party going. So for the first boozy doozy, being that I had never done this show before, I asked a friend to source a friend who is in a situation where they might need some input. And I'm so grateful. She remained anonymous, so I don't know who it is. All I know is that she's a she because I actually read through the story. And I must say, it's the reason why my wine is so low right now. But let's go into it. I am so honored to be on the first episode of your podcast. I'm so honored that you submitted. Please keep me anonymous, absolutely. I have been married to my husband for 8 years now. At the beginning of our relationship, he was a notorious cheat. Woo! I would constantly find women messaging him. Women would come forward to me telling me that they had no idea he was in a relationship during their incidents. His parents would be incredibly supportive, and his father took his failures as a comment on his parenting since they had him when they were teenagers, and eventually he and his mother split up. Their divorce was not due to infidelity, but rather glaring differences since his father is Muslim and his mother is Christian. Okay. Both parents would be extremely supportive during these times, and I think that was the main reason I decided to stay. Fast forward to today, as far as I know, he is the most perfect husband. There have been no reports of his infidelity. He insisted on giving me the passwords to his phones and laptops and lets me know wherever he is. Also, with the birth of both our children, he took an extended leave to help me adjust to new motherhood. He has been every bit involved with the kids, and to this day, anytime I need a day away or even a weekend with the girls, he's more than happy to step in and take care of the children. Truth is, as with anyone who has ever been cheated on, the pain never goes away. It just sort of fades. Woo! He and his father are incredibly wealthy. That's why most people think I stayed, but in truth, it had nothing to do with the money since I'm not broke either. His father is old money, and my husband has grown up working for his father as well. After the birth of my second child, I had been trying to get back into the corporate space, but no one was hiring, so his father offered me a job as his temporary PA. It was a great opportunity, great pay, and the hours were flexible since I was the mother of his grandchildren. Here's the issue. His father travels a lot. And as his PA, I have had to travel with his dad as well. I know that his father used to blame himself for his son's shortcomings when he was cheating on me, but he should be taking credit for his son being an amazing man, because that's where his son really lands. During our travels together, I have seen the world in a new light, and my father-in-law as well. He treats me so well, he spoils me, to be honest, and as far as I can see, it has been completely innocent because this man has been so kind to me since the beginning of our relationship. Like I mentioned earlier, his father is Muslim and has 2 wives already. Up until recently, I had only looked at his father as a father figure of my own, since my own father left me and my mom when we were very young. But recently, on one of our trips to Dubai, my father in law's room was not yet ready, so he came down to spend some time in my room. I'm guessing the water hotel. Okay. We were chatting about the next day's activities when we decided to open a bottle of wine. Hey, and just have friendly chit chat. What seemed innocent, my father in law thanking me for being such a wonderful wife and the daughter he never had, turned into playful banter, turned into closing the space between us. And although we did not fully engage, we did share a kiss. We both agreed not to act on it beyond that and just chalk it up to the wine and being away from home. Everything went on fine, and the rest of the trip went off without a hitch or reference to the incident. Ever since I got home, I've been looking at my husband sideways and wondering if he only got better at hiding his infidelity or if he's actually a changed man. I thought that the Dubai incident was only bothering me until I received a text from my father-in-law asking if I still think about him because he thinks about me. Like I said, the pain of past infidelity never went away, but now I kind of feel like a hypocrite because I'm doing what my husband did to me all those years ago. But a part of me, however, feels like I do deserve this since he put me through the trenches. Or am I just justifying this because his dad is that fine? You did say that they had him while they were teenagers, so he's not that much older than you. Woo! With 2 wives already, he has an allowance for 2 more wives. You're already budgeting. But if I do go down this path, it will make for the world's most awkward family dinners. But if I don't, I will always stay wondering what could have been. Wine in hand, I submit the situation to you. Help a girl out. Also, Boozy Doozy is such a cute name, and this is a Boozy Doozy if there ever was one. Okay, so first off, no. I understand the pain of being cheated on. I understand sometimes even the need to get revenge, maybe, but his dad, sis, I don't care how fine that man is, I don't care how much money he's making. These are the makings of a very catastrophic situation. If you feel the need to move on, I really don't think his father is the way to do it. If you actually do want to leave your husband and you don't trust that the infidelity stopped. However, you did acknowledge that he's a changed man and the most perfect husband, as far as you can see, because we never know human nature completely. You could be jeopardizing what is truly an amazing relationship. But it's also worth noting that you went down a path of no return, even if you did not fully engage, as you put it. I would say kill any and all hope. It doesn't matter how you feel. And I'm saying this for the sake of your sanity, for the sake of your children, and for the sake of any semblance that you hope to have with your husband. This is a real boozy doozy. This is nearly not enough wine to properly unpack this, but that's my take on it. So please let me know how the rest of you feel in the comments. Let me know, do you think she should go for it with the dad? Do you think this is a path of destruction for sure? Do you think the marriage is over and the dad is just an escape? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching the first ever episode of Be Kind, Bring Wine, the podcast. I shall be uploading new episodes every Friday at roughly about 5 p.m. And hopefully this is going to be something that we can do every week. So again, my name is Anne Marie. Have a lovely Friday.